one NBA player with the most to prove on each team. 76ers, Joel Embiid. This is an MVP without a ring and the only MVP who's never been past the second round. He needs to prove he could do better. Bucks, Damian Lillard. He's still ringless. He already proved he can't win a ring as the leader of the team as a Batman type player. Now he needs to at least prove he could win one as a Robin. Bulls, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball's preseason return was epic. It's been nearly 3 years since we've seen him lace up for an NBA game. He needs to prove he could return fully at a high level once the regular season starts. Cavaliers. Tatum. Yes, he has a ring, but now he suffers from Steph Curry final syndrome without a finals MVP. The Celtics have a lot of pressure to repeat, but beyond that, Jason needs to prove that he could be the best performer in the finals. Otherwise, his ring remains with an asterisk. Clippers, James Harden. While Kawhi Leonard is the leader of this team, yes, his chip and finals MVP with the Raptors already proved that he has nothing to prove. James Harden, on the other hand, is ringless and is without Paul George or Russell Westbrook, so he for sure this time is the official number 2 guy. He needs to step up. Grizzlies, Marcus Smart. As the replacement for Dillon Brooks and a key veteran, Smart has to prove he could provide leadership, elite defense, and playmaking while fitting into the Grizzlies system. Playing only 20 games last season did not answer any of these questions, and we're still questioning if he truly fits. Hawks, surprisingly, I'm going with Jalen Johnson. Yes, Trae Young has the most pressure by technicality, and yeah, Zachary Ricochet has a lot to prove. He's the number 1 pick, but I don't think he should be trying to prove anything other than he needs to learn the game as a rookie. Jalen Johnson has a huge opportunity to show the league he could be that number 2 guy behind Young or be good enough to be considered a trade piece for more picks, especially now that DeJounte Murray is gone. Heat, Tyler Hero. After being involved in numerous rumors that led to nothing, Hero needs to prove his value as a legitimate scoring threat and show that the Miami Heat made the right decision in keeping him and investing in him. As Jimmy Butler himself gets older and has his own set of rumors potentially leaving the team, the future will be in Tyler payday, and he needs to prove that he's worth the investment. Some NBA players psychologically take a step back once they get a ton of guaranteed money. It's only human nature, so let's see if Lauri will keep pushing forward or accept his destiny as a nice regular season piece who can't really do much in the postseason. Kings, DeMar DeRozan. DeMar is going to be seen as the final piece to the puzzle, so he clearly has to prove that he is indeed that piece, because if they fail, he will be the one with a large share of the blame as to why this roster didn't work out. Knicks, Karl Anthony Towns. After being traded to the Knicks, Cat has 2 things to prove. 1, that the Timberwolves made a huge mistake giving up on him, and 2, that he's more than just a nasty girl and can take on a bigger load while maintaining his floor spacing powers. Lakers, and this is going to be a strange pick, but I am going with Bronny James. Everyone kind of knows what they're getting out of every other Lakers player at this point, but Bronny has to prove that he's NBA ready and he's not being shoehorned into the league as just puff piece points and NBA Hollywood moments. He needs to prove he truly adds value to the roster with full NBA talent. Magic, Franz Wagner. The Magic have done little to fix their offensive and shooting issues from last season, so Franz needs to step up and prove he could shoot better. He shot 28% from the 3-point line last season. The worst part is, it seems like he's getting worse. For example, in his rookie season, he shot 35% from beyond the arc. The team desperately needs better shooting, and they need it from him more than anything. Mavericks, Klay Thompson. So many people are going to be looking at Klay Thompson to be that missing piece that would stop the Mavericks from winning it all last year, and Klay needs to prove that he's not just a bench rider or a name from the past, that he could still play high valuable basketball. Nets, Cam Thomas. Cam just came off a 22 point per game season and was 7th in most improved player voting last year. With this roster totally in rebuild mode, he's gonna have a ton of new scoring opportunities, and who knows, maybe he could really surprise the league this season. Nuggets, Russell Westbrook. Russ has the best opportunity in a long time time to finally win a championship ring. He may not be a starter, but he still has a chance to prove he could play on a contending team without sitting back and fully being just a bench-riding ring chaser and add some contribution to the roster. Pacers' Aaron Nesmith. He came into this league 4 seasons ago just averaging 4 points per game in his rookie season. Now he's putting up over 12 points per game and starting nearly tripling his scoring average. He needs to prove he can continue to improve and take this team to the next level. Even though he's not necessarily the leader of this team, this is clearly Halliburton's team, but he will be one of the cogs that helps this team go higher and higher. Pelicans' DeJounte Murray. After having a shaky experience with the Hawks, Murray has a new opportunity to play for a team that's expected to make the playoffs. It's essentially a do-over of what he got wrong in Atlanta. Both situations were like these teams who were playoff bound but not championship bound, who were looking for a missing piece. This could be Murray's second chance. Pistons' Tobias Harris. Harris earned $301 million throughout his career, the most in NBA history for a player who never made a single All-Star Game selection. He needs to prove that his talent is worth $1/3 billion. Either way, congrats to him for getting that bread. Raptors' Scottie Barnes. This is pretty much his team now, and Scottie needs to prove he could lead this team and give it an identity. This team doesn't know if it wants to be a rebuilding team or a competing team, and on a large level, it's up for Scottie to decide that. Rockets' Jabari Smith Jr. As a 3rd overall pick, he needs to prove that he's not a bust and can help this Rockets team finally make the playoffs with this new young core. Spurs' Victor Wembanyama. ESPN already ranked him as the 11th best player in the NBA today, ahead of Anthony Davis, who ranked 13th place, and Bam Adebayo, who ranked 18th place. There are a lot of expectations for Wemby to be the face of the league once LeBron retires, so he has a ton of pressure to live up to that, and he has to prove that these are accurate predictions. Suns' Devin Booker. While no one respects KD's rings and Finals MVPs, at least he has them. In fact, he has 2 of them. Devin Booker needs to prove he could at least win 1. And on paper, he's playing with a lot of talented players, so his excuses are very small if there is even any. Thunder, Chet Holmgren. The Thunder are going to be looking at Chet to be that go-to second option right behind SGA. He has a lot of pressure to play at an all-star level, and he personally has a budding rivalry against Victor Wembanyama, so he has to prove the Thunder made the right choice in picking him and that he's not an injury-prone bust. He had a great season last season. Let's hope he continues to improve and stay healthy. Timberwolves' Julius Randle. In a new environment, Randle needs to prove he could adapt his game to fit well with Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert, especially after a rough performance with the Knicks last season. Trailblazers' Scoot Henderson. As the new face of the Blazers, Henderson has a huge role to fill, especially in the replacement of Damian Lillard. He needs to prove he could handle the pressure and lead Portland's rebuild, or he's going to end up as a failed experiment and they're going to hit the reset button again. Warriors' Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan just came off of a 16-point per game season, nearly doubling his scoring average from the previous season. With Klay Thompson gone, he has the opportunity to step up and be the next in time. So here was one NBA player with the most to prove from each team. Let me know who you individually think has the most to prove in the entire league in general. Don't forget to dunk on that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. I'm Rebound Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.